Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the final word. Chelsea 0, Everton 0. Now, just before we start, let me just throw this in to the conversation. We've got a new camera. It's amazing. Baz is going to be editing it on his knee.
On the fly.
He's literally like going... So if you're seeing like his hand moving slowly, then don't be like getting worried. He's just doing a bit of editing. But that might cause a couple of like teething problems in this video. So no complaints, please. This is the first time we've tried it. If there's any issues, it's clearly all down to Baz and his lack of ability to control the camera. There you go. So just want to get that out the way. We're testing new technologies. We're reinvesting into the channel, thanks to you lovely people out there. So let's get into it. Happy with a point down at Stamford Bridge?
Yeah, I am. Very happy with it. I'm happy with it because of the way we played as well, not just because it's a point. We've had a point there in the past. We've been hanging on at times in the past to get a point. But apart from 10 minutes spell in the game, 15 maximum, I don't think we were hanging on at all.
No. No, do you know, I mean, I went down to Stamford Bridge yesterday. It was my first away game I've done this season, to be honest. I am shattered. I went down there on an hour's sleep, and I'm still knackered. I'm clearly getting old. What I would say about the place, right, before I get into the game, it's probably the friendliest football ground I've been to for a very, very long time. It was akin to going to the Magic Kingdom. Honest to God, it was just like this football. For some people, it would be their ideal scenario. To me, it felt, tell you what, it just felt so manufactured, and everyone was so nice, and everyone looked like they were having days out. I mean, the best bit was we just walked around the ground ruining people's selfies. It was brilliant. Just walking behind people and stuff while they were getting pictures in front of all these, like, Chelsea have created all these things outside to basically like get your picture taken in front of. So we just walked around behind people, making sure their photos were ruined. Good times. But you know what? I had a £5 and a pint in the ground. What do you expect? But no, listen. I thought I agree with you on the way we approached it. It was a good performance. We knew it was going to be difficult, but we didn't go down there ultra defensive. We also didn't go down there ultra, we're going to go for this. It was a little bit in between, and it changed during the game as well. And I thought that was, again, the tactics evolving. You know, the substitution showed that with Jagielka coming on as well. The tactics evolved during the game, and I thought that was brilliant. And yeah, you know, they went close on a few occasions, which you'd expect. Listen, this is a team that's gone unbeaten this season. You know, in the top three, really good football side. And I thought we dealt with them really well. And I think the key thing was the last sort of 5-10 minutes, or even when he put the board on saying it was 5 minutes, no one was sitting there really panicking. Certainly in the away end, no one was thinking, oh, here we go. Everyone was just like, we'll see this out.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I thought we started the game really well, straight on the front foot, you know, and that always sets the tone. You know, we didn't look, and we've seen this with this Marco Silva team so far this season, particularly away from home. We haven't looked fearful in any game. You know, we've looked like we want to get on the front foot, and that's been evident from day one, really, when we went to Wolves. You know, we went to Wolves, everyone was the top six, and they're going to do this, and we were straight on them. And we've kept that going every game. And I think the biggest thing for me in that game yesterday was there was never a time where we were ragged. And that, to me, was a key thing. We were playing it out from the back. We were drawing them in and playing triangles around them and playing it out from the back. And it was just like night and day compared to last season. You know, you've got Spit the Dog on the co-commentary going on about, you know, I'm really impressed with the way they're playing here, the composure, the show, the draw and Chelsea in. And what was really evident, again, was this. I mean, it came out in the week, didn't it, that we were the best pressing side in the final third, you know, when we've won the ball back the most. And for a team that likes to play out from the back, such as Chelsea, it was very, very evident to me that we were on them when Luis got the ball and when Rudiger got the ball. We were straight on them. Sometimes they were having to go back, or they were just kicking it, trying to get it down the field. And that's a massive thing, to have that in your locker this early into the project. But it just shows you, if you put good players in a team, they can play the game.
I think they didn't feel like there was that fear factor going into the game either. It felt like obviously confidence is high. We've been winning games, and it's about tactics. It's about going somewhere in the right frame of mind. And are you worried? And I didn't think, as fans, there was no one really fearful yesterday going down there. Everyone was like, well, we'll see what happens. Someone said to me, "Oh, what do you think it's going to be today?" And I was like, "You know what? I don't know." And you don't want to be like, "Oh, well, as long as we play well." But that was my attitude yesterday. I want to see us grow. I didn't want us to see us go down there and play in a style that would go against what we've been doing, because I think that's what's happened far too many times in the past. And it depends on what the style is, of course. If you'd asked me that in the Martinez era, I would have said, right, let's knock all the fancy, whatever his style is, and let's just be pragmatic today. And that I accuse Martinez of that a lot of times. So that would be me, going against myself there, contradicting myself. But I think the way we play, we're not open all the time. We've got a good defensive unit, and that goes into midfield. And I just thought that, or I just think that, like, because we're growing as a team, you just want to see them get better at what they're doing, rather than at this stage go, well, what we've been doing is great, but let's completely change it for someone else because we're playing Chelsea away, or because we're playing Man United away, or Liverpool away, or not. No, stick to it and try and get better at that. That's what I think. I take a team like Bournemouth, right, and you see them, and you've seen over the last 3 or 4 years, and you've watched how, with a team with, not massive resources, and maybe not all the best players in the world, but people say, well, how come they went to this ground and beat? They went to Chelsea and won, didn't he? But then they get beat by Liverpool like 4-0 at home or something like that. And it's because they go into every game the same way, and all they're trying to do is get better and better and better and better at what they're trying to do. Not say, well, this week we're going to do this, and this week we're going to do this. And I think that's been one of our major problems under all our managers, Moyes, Martinez, all of them recently. We've changed our style of play, and that's what I think is key under Silva, is that the style of play in the first place has got to be right, and I think it is right, because we're starting to see the defensive unit get better. We're starting to see the attacking unit get better, and with Gomez going in midfield, I think that's completed the midfield sort of puzzle. Now, I'm not saying it can't get better in terms of personnel, but how he wants to play, those 3 players fit that system for me now, and all complement each other. So it's important that we go to these games and just get better at doing what we're doing, and I think that's what showed yesterday. And as I say, it was fluid as well. It did change during the game because of different things.
Yeah, and that was the key for me as well. You'd always look and think, we're going into this game, we want to win the game, and I'd tweeted Saturday night and Sunday morning, come on Blues, let's do this, it's been too long. But the caveat to that was almost, this is a new team, these are new players, this isn't a team that's done this same journey 5 years on the run and hasn't been able to beat Chelsea. Yeah. This is a new team that Marco Silva's put together, and we're seeing the evidence of that growing week by week, the ability to pass our way out, the ability to press high, and for me it's such a big change than what we witnessed last season under Sam Allardyce and Koeman at the start. And we often we often say that Koeman come in with that, we're going to play a high pressing game, and we've seen it for the Tottenham game for 70 minutes and it never returned under Ronald Koeman. I think the difference with Marco Silva is he set that stall out. What I can't get, it's just one of those things, when you go through your mind, you're watching the team, and then you think back to pre-season, and you think back to that 7 days between that when we were at Goodison watching Valencia beat us to how we performed at Wolves the week later, and then everything else that we've took on from there. And you look back and go, wow, this team hasn't half took that on. And I know that things have changed. Gomez has come in and people like that, and it's improved. That Luca Dean has come in. It's all, but it just shows. And I suppose as Evertonians, this is one of the things we've been starved of at the past. Is we've always had a couple of good players or 3 or 4 good players. The rest have been average, but we talk them up a bit more because we like them or we think. And now what you're seeing is for the first time, I think in a long time, we've actually got a certain level of player that is better than anything we've seen. So when you see that and you invest in that team, you look at that team, you see what it can do, you start to believe then. You start to look and go, I can see tangible progress here. So the result almost doesn't matter. It does, of course it does, ultimately it does. But if you can actually see those wheels, it's like when we went down to Arsenal. We lost the game 2-0, but I come away from that game thinking, you know what? I've seen what he wants to achieve here. I've seen the progress already. Then we went to United and we were undone by a dodgy penalty. But we still saw what he wanted to achieve. Then we came home and we've beaten, the likes of Crystal Palace. We beat Brighton last week, who'd won games. And we've gone to Chelsea and we've been able to continue that pattern of play.
You've got to be able to go to these places and offer something, because you can't go there and just, if you go there and say, right, we're going to defend for 90 minutes and we're going to batten down the hatches. Good sides should be able to score it against you. And then if you've got how many times have we looked at these games and you're almost waiting for that first goal to go in, and when it goes in, you're like, well, that's it, the game's over. We've got nothing to offer. And I'm not saying, yesterday was we're sitting in after a 0-0 draw, but we didn't go and just get 10 men behind the ball or anything like that. You've got to be able to offer a threat. And I think that's what we did. And it was only in the game when maybe that threat become a little bit less, whether it be down to Richarlison's fitness or Gylfi's fitness maybe started to get less and less, or someone like Hazard started going through the different areas of the pitch with the ball. And I think it was only once that started happening did they start getting that little bit of control that allowed them to have a little bit of pressure on them. And that shows you, if you're not attacking and you're allowing the opposition team to start getting more and more of the ball, they're going to get into better areas, so you have to have that threat. So for me, I thought we were well balanced, and when we needed to just say, let's make a sub or a decision that stops Chelsea in the tracks. We did that, and I thought we coped quite well. Obviously, Mina came in for his debut as well. He was the only change. Obviously, there was a lot of talk about Richarlison possibly missing the game. You could tell he was something, not right there. But Mina, pretty decent debut, really.
Yeah, I thought he was excellent, to be honest with you. For a debut, listen, he could have come in for his debut at home to Brighton or someone, and people would have gone, well, we don't play in Brighton or whatever. He went to Chelsea, unbeaten, like you've said before. We're not brilliant at Stamford Bridge in terms of our record. Okay, we've had a lot of draws there, but the last 2 years we played there, we've lost 7-0 on aggregate. So, for him to come in there into the team, and I thought he was comfortable for large parts of the game. Is good on the ball, loves a shimmy, which we said the other night. But I thought his positional play was excellent. There was the odd time he got caught out. Gonna happen. He's not used to playing in this defence, so to speak. So there'll be opportunities at times when people may get in. But in the main, I thought he'd done very, very well indeed. And he's got to watch himself going to ground, because that's how he plays. But in this league now, every tackle is a that kind of challenge is a booking.
I thought there was a couple of times in the game, and obviously this is not just because it's his first game, but it's his first game in the Premier League. The pace of the game just caught him out, or the pace of a couple of players caught him out. There was one where I think it was Hazard just got in front of him. Hazard got away from him very, very quickly, and it was all. But when you looked at him, he didn't look like he was going full pelt, and that's what I thought. That's what I'm saying. It was almost like Hazard was and got away from him, but he wasn't going full pelt, and it was almost like, oh, I didn't realise I had to move that quickly.
Yeah.
And obviously there was the one with there was the one that he spoke about the penalty on Morata. To me, I think his biggest crime there is that he's not looking at the ball, and that almost says to the referee, you are just trying to foul. But I thought the actual motion of bringing him down was Morata bringing him down. I thought he was very clever. He bought that foul off him rather than Morata off him. But I think the motion of turning your back, you've got to be careful with that, because in this league, I mean, I don't know what a foul is anymore. I don't know what offside is anymore. I don't know what anything is anymore till someone starts doing this. But that's what I think he's got to be careful of, because referees will just look at the fact that he wasn't watching it and they fell on the ball and go, that's a penalty. We see it all the time. They guess.
Yeah.
So he's got to be a little bit more.
Got to be cleverer.
Yeah, it's got to. But I thought he was clever, but the last bit, because Morata brings him down. So people talking about it, that it's a pen. It's never a pen.
It wasn't a penalty. Morata was all over him. The pair of them were at it, and that's why they got up and put their heads together and all that, because I think he knew quite well that the pair of them were at it. I just thought he coped admirably. I mean, I think he could see he's a quality player. It's his first, his first Premier League game, his first real game since the World Cup back in June, wasn't it? The end of June or early July, whatever it was. So for him to come in and to play the way he did, be confident on the ball the way he was, he took the ball, he drew people in. I thought he was excellent, and again, it just shows you that you're in a situation where Zuma and Keane have been excellent, and then you've all of a sudden got one of them's had to go out, Zuma's had to go out because of the enforced change, and Mina comes in, and then people are going, who's going to come in at the next game? And you're like, well,
what I did think was funny yesterday, there's so many people who had him on for first goal scorer. There was loads. I think he was up 45-1. Loads had him on. I think that was something was cool. I think what it was interesting was, though, I think the fact that when we took Sigurdsson off, we brought Jagielka on. I think that could be a sign of a tactical change the manager now has. He now, not obviously not with Jagielka, but with having Keane, Zuma, and Mina. He now has the ability to change the system in the game, to maybe see out a game, or just change the way we play. Don't forget, 3 at the back doesn't have to be a negative change. It can be a positive change. It can push your wing backs on. They become wing backs. And now with Digne on the left-hand side, you've now got someone who is a brilliant attacker going forward. If suddenly you can say to Digne, you don't have to worry about defending. We've got that covered. Suddenly, that's a much more of an added attacking threat. If and if you look at it on the basis of Sigurdsson's injury, obviously we'll speak about that in a minute. But let's say Sigurdsson stays out, and the manager says, "Well, I don't want to bring Richarlison back to the left." Because what he could do there is say, well, Bernard could play centrally, let's say, if he wanted to. And instead of saying, well, let's play with Richarlison on the left again, he could quite clearly leave Richarlison up front and go to 3 at the back and start pushing Digne down the left. That could be a tactical change that he could look at. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not Cardiff, but let's just say we'll go to Anfield, and he goes, well, we want to be a little bit more solid, but Digne's the width then, rather than having. So I think that's it. I think that's somewhere now where I don't want him to go to 3 at the back, because I just think I've said before, I think managers who change systems like that don't have a grip of their players, are not willing to make a tough decision. If you've got 3 players that don't, in 2 positions, we've seen it before. I think weak managers go, we're just going to play 3 at the back. No, if you want to play 4 at the back and you've got 3 players you can play in 2, you've got to make that decision. I think we've got a manager who will make that decision, but I think now we've got the flexibility of a tactical change.
Definitely, but I don't think there's anything wrong with being flexible in terms of formations. And if you've got 3 very good centre backs, which we ultimately have now, then you can make those decisions, because it will change with who you're playing against. Antonio Conte won the league on 3-5-2. I mean, yesterday at times we were playing 4-4-2. which Leicester won the league on. So it's fine to go between the two. If you play 3 centre-backs, it becomes a 3-4-3 because your 2 wide players, say Walcott, say Bernard, what have you, they can go and play right up alongside Richarlison because you've got the width from Dean, you've got the width from Coleman, you've got that flexibility. What it will do is obviously just leave you with 2 in midfield, but it's 4 in midfield, so it's how you play. I mean, yesterday when he put Jagielka on, I'll be honest, at first you're thinking, I don't know whether I've done that. You're just thinking, is he playing for the draw? But it wasn't. It pushed us on, because if you look at it, the last 10 minutes, we actually came back into the game. Lookman got on the ball a little bit more. Walcott was, you're looking at that to think we can push them back up the pitch a bit.
They'd done Digne a couple of times inside. They'd put that ball inside Digne a couple of times. And because he is an attacking fullback, there was one where they threaded it inside and William got in and put it just wide. And when Digne was running backwards, and if you watch it again, he turns his body while he's running, and it slows him down, because he was backtracking and then spins, and it gives Willian the chance to get ahead of him. And it's that, I think, as soon as you went to 3, that outlet was blocked off then as well. It's just little changes like that you want from a manager, to notice where they were getting in, and that. See, I was worried. We were looking at the last sub and thinking, who's it going to be? And I thought, well, if it's Giroud, then I'm worried, because they were going to have to start just throwing balls in the box because we pushed them out wide. And when he brought Barkley on it, apart from, obviously, you're going, oh no, it's Barkley, you know what's coming next. But I think emotionally, that's where their manager got it wrong. I think if he thought about it rationally and tactically, Giroud would have been a man who's always scored against us. And if the right ball's in the box, whereas Barkley, the game got to, our fans didn't get, I wouldn't say they absolutely give him loads of pelters, but they made the presence known, because he had to warm up down our end, and our fans just made it known. They didn't go over the top, it wasn't anything stupid, but they just made it known, and you could see it on his face. It was almost like, it was nerves, but it was almost like, I'm going to go out there and show you. And he did what he did what happens a lot of the times. He just tried too hard, and that's where I just think their manager just made that mistake. Because I just thought they were from wide positions. That was their best opportunity. And once we got the 3 centre backs, I thought we coped with it quite well.
Well, if you think about that first half, we were the better side. We were the team in more control. We played our way out. We had the Bernard shot fizz just wide. We had a couple of set plays that almost came off. One for Mina, one for Andre Gomez early on, and Chelsea were all over the place. We were a real threat going forward. Richarlison had a shot that got blocked, so we carried a real threat. They didn't really get in any time. Morata threw himself to the floor, one which was embarrassing. Just threw himself over. He should have been booked for it really. And then they had the free kick, which Alonso struck brilliant. It was a really good free kick. Alonso volleyed. It was a brilliant save by Pickford. Other than that, they had nothing. No. And you come off at half time thinking, we're the better side here. We looked more threatening. They had a lot of the ball, but it was because we just gave them that ball. But the telling thing, I'd done my tactics show on in time for this game, and I'd done a bit on Jorginho, because he's their key player. He's touched the ball more than anybody else has touched the ball. And I'd done my thing on that about how important and how key he was for the game. And he ended up being subbed. Yeah. Really, he should have been sent off.
Let's just talk about the tackle. The tackle.
Born out of frustration.
Sigurdsson's got the ball, and he does brilliantly. Sigurdsson, he's holding him off with his body brilliantly, and manipulates the ball brilliantly, and he's breaking away. And the way he launches himself at him is pure frustration. And I'm sorry, listen, I know everyone thinks Baz is the one with the gripe about referees.
I am.
Well, he is, certainly on his videos, and I don't always come to, but certainly if you look at my social media, if you go on Twitter, VAR, it's got to come in. It's just every single week, and I'm not talking about us, I'm talking about everybody. I'm watching games over the weekend, and I'm seeing major decisions You know, look at that Southampton game, right? All right, Charlie Austin's he's obviously come out, but there was one for both teams.
Yeah, Watford should have
had a penalty, and Southampton's goal should have stood. But what annoys me is Charlie Austin comes out and it's like, oh my God, look at him, what he said. Every manager and every player now who feels, you know, there's been something in the game has to stand up now. Sigurdsson leaves the ground in a boot.
Yeah,
he's going to miss. Iceland are going to probably feel most of it. He might. The worst, hopefully, is that he misses the Cardiff game for us. That's the worst, hopefully. So every manager, and I'm not into all this. Oh, we can't say none. If every single manager and every single player aggrieved by it this weekend came out and said something about it and said we need VAR. No. See, this is what I think is funny. Don't have a go at the referee. Do what Charlie Austin doesn't have a go at the referee. He says
they need help.
Biggest league in the world. It's no coincidence, right, that against Manchester United, people on Twitter had their accounts shut down for putting out videos of the incidents against us, right? Now, I know that can happen because obviously it's copyrighted and all that stuff, right? But I've seen loads of videos from the Premier League go viral that are not, you know, from the proper accounts, right? And they don't get shut down. But it's funny when it's a bad decision that can look bad on the Premier League. They do. What are they waiting for? As I said, every manager, every player should come out and say, you know what? Fine me if you want to fine me. Oh, and that's the other thing when you do fine me, right? Where does that money go? Let us know where that money goes. Because you know where it should go? Genuinely. It should go into grassroots football, training, referees. That's where it should go. Training referees and also putting barriers around the pitches so no dickheads can run on and have a go. I seen a referee this week got assaulted. So put that money back into training young kids who want to be referees and get them so that the rest we do have are fit and able, and they're not these fat little middle-aged podgy fellas who shouldn't be running around after elite athletes, because that's what we've got at the moment, and it's a joke. So sort it out. VAR, it's just got to be come out. I don't know whether that, for me, I'd say once everyone's played their 19th game, and we've got half a season done, and it's fair, and no one can say, well, they've done this and we didn't have that, like we have in the cups, which is a joke. Again, remember the cup game last year? Let's get it in, because it's the Premier League. Do something bold, and make a decision and go, not only are we going to make this the best league in the world, we're going to make it the fairest league in the world, and we'll see what happens. I know loads of people will say VAR won't solve it because they won't look at this and won't look at that and all the rest of it, but I just think it's...
If everyone has it, they've got to, haven't they? They've got to look at it. It's got to be given. It
doesn't really matter now, but you know, there can't even be any retrospective action against them.
I thought, and I said this yesterday, I said it yesterday on me post-match, and I said keep it as a collector's item, because I actually thought Kevin Friend refereed the game all right.
Okay.
I mean, I don't like referees, I hate them, and normally they're absolutely pathetic. But I thought he refereed it all right. The Mina one, I've watched it about 20 times. I can understand why he booked him. His shin cleared the ball, his foot went right through Hazard. Nowadays, that's a foul, that's a booking. Whether we like it or not, that's a booking. What's berserk is Jagielka's challenge on day one was a million times better than Mina's yesterday, because Jagielka won the ball and with his foot.
Yeah, he did.
Mina won it with his shin yesterday, but he did catch him. Jagielka won him. Anyway, so that's the first thing, yeah? The Jorginho one, I don't understand why he's not helped out by his assistant or by Andre Mariner, who quite obviously helped them out with the Bernard and Rudiger one later on, because Jorginho jumps through the air because Sigurdsson's too strong for him. He runs after him, jumps through the air, scissors him, and his ankle goes over. And that, to me, is unacceptable, that kind of challenge. It could have put him out for 6 months.
It's a horrendous,
it was a horrendous challenge. It should have been a red card. The Alonso one, I've got to be honest, at the time, I just seen him go in for the tackle. when you slow it down and look at it, yeah, it's a terrible tackle on his ankle. And that could be a red card, right? But if you go in for a slide tackle, sometimes you're going to catch a player. So is it premeditated? I don't know whether you could say that's a red. When you look at it and slow it down, you go, red card, that. Yeah. But the Jorginho one, there's no ambiguity with it. He jumps through the air and it's a scissor tackle. So he's not in control. So that is a red card.
And he's not going for the ball either.
Of course he's got a cop on because Sigurdsson's too strong. So for me, that was the only real one where I look at it and I go, I don't know what his view's like, but if he can't see it, Andre Marin stood there and shows his lines.
I'm not having a go at that. I'm not necessarily having a go at the referee. I'm going after the system. I'm going after the system. It's just, I'm not going to repeat myself. It's just a farce. No.
It is a farce. But, we got to half time. Like I said, we played well. Second half, they come on strong. I mean, they've done that kick-off they've done 4 or 5 times this season. Almost like the old Everton kick-off under Kendall where it gets switched and Hazard just throws a ball in and Morata gets something on. I don't think it's weird the way he hits it because it's not like he means it. It's more like he's trying to take a touch. But Pickford has to make an important save and that's 10 seconds after the restart and you're thinking... But then, they were going to come on. They moved Hazard inside, hence which caused us a little bit more of an issue. But we still defended brilliantly. We were still... What I loved about it, right, it wasn't just the fact we defended, because we've seen Everton defend last season. I've seen the odd, and the stress odd, as in more than one way, person on Twitter saying, if Sam Allardyce would have done that, we'd have been, and you're like, there's a totally...
That's dried up a bit now, I've noticed, Baz.
Well, know what I'm saying. But for me, we did defend brilliantly, but we done it like top teams do. Yeah. We done it like we defended, we carrying a threat here. Yeah. And they were terrified when we broke. They were terrified.
We didn't take enough care, and I keep on using that word in the final third. We just didn't. Walcott gets in with a brilliant ball from Sigurdsson. It was a lovely little interchange. Sigurdsson puts a brilliant ball into his path. These are the things that I don't think people see about Sigurdsson. I still have conversations with people who go, didn't do enough today. And you go back and watch the game and you go, he did. Because he was good in midfield and he put back passes in like that. The ball was brilliant. And someone have accused me in the comments on YouTube of having, making Walcott a scapegoat. I love Theo. I think Theo's brilliant, but at the moment he's just not in a very good vein of form. He's working as hard as anybody in the team, but little things are letting him down in the attacking third. So last week we seen it when, at 1-1 when the ball's flashed across and by Bernard and you just want him to knock it in and he doesn't. It came at pace. This one, he's one-on-one with the goalkeeper and he has any kind of decent touch that you would expect from Theo Walcott. He'd take that on the inside of his foot or on his toe, and his next touch would be a shot on goal, and then whatever happens then happens. They've got a good goalkeeper, but he takes it almost on his studs, and obviously the hard bit of his boot, and it just bounces away from him. And if he just takes more care of that ball there, then, and that might be because he's in his head, he's like, I've got to get this. It might almost be one of them where he's trying to trap it. Almost what Tosun did against Palace the other week when he just pushed it into his path with his studs. Exactly.
It can go wrong.
It can. So he's just not in the greatest form. But neither's Bernard really. The last couple of weeks, Bernard's been the same. He in the build-up play, it's all great, it's all neat and tidy. But in the individual moments that count for a player like that, it hasn't been there. We've seen one from him.
The other thing with him, though, what people, and not you, because I know that you like him, but I've seen people yesterday like, yeah, he's just not good enough. We need to replace. And you're like, mate, he's absolutely brilliant. Okay, he's not clinical enough at the minute. That's fine. No one's ever going to argue that. The facts are there. He didn't score the goal. So the facts are there that he's not clinical. To say he's not good enough is utter nonsense. It's utter nonsense. This is a lad that finished this season in March. Yeah. When he's played, 6 games or something since then. Yeah. So he's got to get up to speed with it. He's got to get more clinical. I think that's a confidence thing for me. I think if he scores a goal, his head will go up because it'll be like, I've scored in the Premier League now and his head will go. he had that great shot in the first half from nothing. It just fizzed wide. You're thinking, one of these will come off. We've got to get him in those positions. But you're right. You know, we had the breakaway, didn't we? We had the ball across by Sigurdsson, which was absolutely brilliant. Richarlison does great, makes the run, takes 2 with him. If he's confident and in form, that's killed, and bang, we're winning 1-0. Same at Old Trafford, big chance. Yeah. You know,
and they're the moments. They're the moments in these games that are massive. In these big games against top 4 sides, they're the moments that you've got to capitalise on them. And to be let down on both of them for Bernard and Walcott by doing something which is not in their nature. I mean, you know, we've told before, you can smash a ball at Bernard and he'll just, you know, smash one in the air and watch you take it on his toe. Yet the last 2 chances he's had in front of goal, you know, Old Trafford and yesterday, it's almost like, caught in the headlights kind of thing, especially on his one, you know, kicks it, bounce back, hits him on the shin and goes out, and you just had that little bit of composure there. You know, it almost goes against the whole part of his game. And they're the moments. And they're the moments.
Confidence,
yeah.
Isn't it? I
suppose the biggest disappointment from the game is we never really carved out a decent sort of penalty box chance for someone like Richarlison to come on to. I mean, Richarlison worked incredibly hard, I thought, in the game. He put himself around.
He did work hard. That's.
But without any real.
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
Without. I thought he worked really hard on. He's trying to get beyond them all the time, but he just didn't.
Wasn't in the game.
He just wasn't in the game enough.
But listen, you're gonna have those occasions where, you know, where you play in a top team. They're a top team, loads of experience. Look at the players they brought on. All right, Ross Barkley, but they brought Pedro on, who's I think is a fantastic player, and has unlocked us a few times, by the way, hasn't he? And they brought Cesc Fabregas on, who's brilliant, and has unlocked us a few times, by the way.
Do you know what yesterday? Go on.
No, but I was going to say, you're looking at that bench. We're warming up Dominic Calvert-Lewin. We've got Ademola Lookman. Now, I'm not dissing these lads, but these are great lads. But you're talking about experience and doing it. What I love is, Lookman's done exactly what I said he needed to do the other week, and that is make himself the first sub. Yeah. And that's it.
Do you know what for me yesterday was? It was a day of what we've been criticising maybe in the last couple of weeks is, it was a day when we did close things down. We did stop the crosses. So you look at it on paper and go, well, yeah, it was 0-0. But it was a day where we did all those things that you don't notice people doing, but you notice if they don't do them because they lead to free crosses and free opportunities to shoot. I think that's what yesterday was. It was a day where we made sure that we just went through the job.
Definitely, and if you look at their chances, I mean, Alonso hit one second half which hit the outside of the post on the way out. Come from nothing, it broke and he just hit it, which is fine. It was on outside the box. The Willian one you spoke about before, he gets away. Mina does brilliant, throws himself at it and it fizzes wide. Other than that, you know, this is a team that's been, it's the first time he's not scored at Stamford Bridge this season. He's been flying. So for us to go there this early on in Marco Silva's reign, you know, and having new players bedding in, 12 games in, you know, to go to Stamford Bridge, you know, United and Liverpool have gone there and been celebrating points there. And we've gone, so why shouldn't we be celebrating points there? You know, I watched a bit of that Liverpool game the other week. Chelsea battered them. Liverpool had, don't get me wrong, they had on the break, they had a couple of moments, but Chelsea battered them. Chelsea didn't batter us yesterday. They had 10 or 15 minutes, like you would expect a top club to do in a game, and Everton rode it out. You know, we had a little bit of luck, a little bit of the rub, which every team needs in any game. And, you know, Chelsea have had it at times. So, you know, for us to go there and play the way we did, and play with the confidence that we did, I thought it was fantastic. And you've already said, you already mentioned before about bringing on Jagielka. He come on and you're like, oh, are we just going to like go further and further back here, and then are they going to score and it's going to be like, we knew it was coming. He didn't. He come on, he done his normal overhead kick, Jags in midair, boss. But we were composed. Yeah. We were composed and they were talking. And if anything, he helped me to get through the last 15 minutes. I thought Michael Keane, brilliant again. I thought some of his passes, the impact passes, when he's taking people out the game, was brilliant. He played 3 40-yard balls on the floor that took 4 Chelsea players out the game like that into feet. And that kind of, you're seeing all of this little patterns of play becoming. The other thing as well is, just you'll have noticed it and watching it, but when we're out of possession, the minute we lose the ball, the team just shifts into shape. Richarlison puts his head down, runs where he needs to be. The team just goes bang, bang, 4-4-2, try and play through us. We got 2 banks of 4. Everything's closed down the corridors. And that's why when we went ragged, you know, and no one today is talking about zonal marking, are they? Chelsea had a lot of corners. Big players, no one's talking about zonal marking because Everton defended most corners brilliantly. And that's the thing, practice.
That's it.
Practice. And you've got this manager.
From the start.
This manager that every inch, everything he works on, everything, he's in the middle of that training pitch every single day. And that's why the players are believing in it.
It's attention to detail.
Everything.
It's attention to detail. And if you've got players who buy into it, and I think all our players are buying into it, all of them, you can see that because it benefits all of them. I've said this about Pochettino, said it before. If you play, I think Man United are the perfect example of players who do not buy into. But their players are good enough that it will always keep them at a certain level. But their players don't buy into a system. No. Look at that goal by Man City yesterday. It's got 40-odd passes, right? You know what I mean? You're looking at it and you're thinking, everyone buys into it
in a derby match,
because it's got end product. It's got end product. There's a means to an end.
Did you read? I mean, it was on our Patreon thing, and I put on the website as well. Did you read the Marcel Brands interview? With Paul Joyce, and I thought it was magnificent. The whole interview, it was really makes you go, this fella knows what he's on about. But he was speaking about that kind of thing, wasn't he? He was saying top 6 have all got great players, but there's only one that's head and shoulders above because of the coach, because they work, because they buy. Winning makes the players buy into it. Then he spoke about Everton and said you can see they're buying into it because they're getting better. And so if you've got a manager who you start to believe in and you know your game's getting better by it, everyone listens. Everyone's happy.
By the way, that's brilliant for the future as well, because what that says to those players is this is why people are not abandoning Tottenham like everyone think they would abandon Tottenham, because all the players are like,
much of the media's
because
thing.
all the players are like, so players like, let's be part of this because we see it. Look, it's like when Lukaku left, when John Stones left, even when Ross left, they're looking at what's best for their they're looking at the current situation going, this is going nowhere. Or where it's going will take a long time because we're not buying the right players and we're not playing the right way. John Stones he's jumped from one place to another, and as soon as he gets to the other, it's like a distant galaxy from where he was, because he could see how if you've got to sell a £50 million player like that, then that's automatically is telling you where you're going. You're not going as fast as he needs to. We've said this for ages. I always say about a player, when if you can't offer what a player wants, then he's going to go somewhere that can offer it. You know, John Stones, Lukaku, Ross Barkley, whether you like them, whether you don't like them, they all left for me for footballing reasons. Simple as that.
Well, they did. Romelu Lukaku, if he'd have been here this summer, would have stayed, I think, with the players. If we could have kept them long enough, and then he saw the quality of player coming in, he'd have given another year. Fact is, he's gone, that's fine. Ross Barkley, why should they stay? I suppose, from us, we're never going to understand it. We're never going to understand it probably because we're Evertonians. We love our club, and we want to buy into it. It's harder when, and I understand why people are negative and get down quickly, because it's just like getting it. It's like being punched drunk from getting one dig after the other. We want to buy into something. We want to believe that everything's better than it is. Ross Barkley, Romelu Lukaku. Forget John Stones. John Stones they wanted Stones and Pep and all that. He was always going to go. But Barkley and Lukaku are on the inside of Finch Farm.
Yeah.
Ross left. Whether you like Ross, hate him, think he's a rat, think he's great, think he's shite. Koeman treated him awfully in the end. Awfully. Put a divide between the football club and him. Broke him. And his agent loved it. His agent got the Al crowbar in and wedged that gap then. And that was it. That's why he left. Romelu Lukaku wanted us to buy players, he said himself. Now he turns around and looks and goes, I'm scoring. And I'm not Romelu Lukaku's biggest fan. But that lad done his job every year. He scored 20 goals every year. So he's putting the ball in the net and going, like, where's the next level? We want to get to the next level. Where's the next level? Yeah. And he's looking at Ronald, he's looking at Steve Walsh. Now you expect now, if Romelu Lukaku played for Everton now, Silva would be sitting him down every week like he says he does with other players, or Brands would be going, this is who we're going here, we're going there. This is our 60,000 seater stadium on the way, or that's 55. All of a sudden, then players look and go, this club's going places.
But that's the thing, and listen, I'm not sitting here. I'm not sitting here and can't sit here and go, you know what, we are going and we are going to win this and we are going to win that. But the point being is that if the players believe in it and believe it can be achieved, then that's the first thing you need. Look, Spurs haven't won anything, but their players believe it, and they see this new stadium as proof of where it's all going, and they go, well, we're part of it.
And they've got better.
I know, but what I'm saying is, though, they buy into it because they're part of it, because they are part of what we'll say. It won't go forward if they all jump ship, and that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that's what's going to be different about this Everton team, is that because they look to the fella left to the next to them and go, well, he's a good player, and if I stick around, and he sticks around, and he sticks around, and the manager sticks around,
and we get another couple,
and we've got and the fella at the top, if he's got the dough he says he has, then it's that then is enough proof to say, yeah, we're not wasting our time at this football club.
I've got to say this, right, and this is early, and I'm not going to say too much, I'm not going to go overboard, right, but there's a quiet confidence in me for the first time. I wanted to buy in with Martinez after a bit, and I did, because he wooed me, but there was the worry that what else comes from it. Everything was in the basket for Martinez to have to do it all himself, because there was no financial backing, so it was how good a coach can he be, right? Koeman, I never wanted Koeman, but he come in and thought, you know what, he's a big name, maybe this is the thing. And Walsh come in and it was like, oh, we're spending money, but there was no, the theme wasn't running through the club, and the quality of player was like, yeah, it's better than what we've had, but I'm not seeing any real evidence that they are still good. People were kind of saying, and you don't want to believe it, but when you look back, you go, maybe they were right. We were buying players and people were going, yeah, but they're not. They're only better than, do you know what I mean? Whereas now I look at this team and I look at these players and I go, we just brought 3 in from Barcelona, but they're not Gerard Deulofeu Barcelona. The players who were there, and they've cost money and this, that, and the other. You've got Charles, you've got a manager, you've got a director of football who's done it. He's been there and done it. It's not flip a coin. This might work. He talks so authoritatively and knows what he's doing. We've got a hard-working manager. We've got an owner with money who wants it, who's desperate for it. And we've got a fan base who are ripe for plucking. They're ready. You heard our supporters yesterday, absolutely immense. Do you know what I mean?
Fans want to get behind it.
Things are in place. Now, whether that, like you just said, whether those things stack up in the end and we win something, who knows? Whether we get into the Champions League, who knows? But what I will say is this is the best chance we've ever got. We've had for years of moving this club back into challenging for those top places.
We said it last week, Baz. We've got to make the top 6 or top 7. We've got to. That's what we've got to do.
That's the aim.
We've got to get it so everyone is talking about
that 7.
That 7 and not that, and not the 6. That's the only way. And people can say, "Oh, it can't be done." It can. Tottenham
be done.
Tottenham and Man City have made it a top 6. And okay, City have
done it differently.
City have done it differently. But Spurs have done it very much like we want to do it. Very much like we want to do it.
Spurs have spent money. Don't fall into the thing that Tottenham haven't bought.
No, I know.
They have, but they've done it. No, but what I mean is, sorry, I wasn't trying to say what I mean is Spurs have spent money, but they haven't spent Man City money. No. They've spent it. They've invested in their manager. When you were saying before about your point with about about Pochettino and people buying in, David Moyes' players did this to a certain extent. Not all of them, but they did. Fellaini stayed longer than he could have done. Jagielka refused to go to Arsenal a couple of times. Cahill, because they liked what they saw. There was nothing really. They liked the whole thing. They liked what they had. They were the close-knit. They were all mates. And in the end, the likes of Arteta and, you know, whatever, whether you like him, you don't, whatever, has looked and gone, well, I want to have a little crack at that for a finish, which is fine. Nowadays, these set of players, I feel like we're on a journey now, and there is something where we can get to. I look at them across the park, right? Because they're in our city, so people who go, don't compare. I will compare because they're our rivals. But I look at them, a few years ago, they had Ricky fucking Lamberts up front.
They did.
Do you know what I mean? And now they're a team chasing the league. Where did he come short? Brady did. But they've turned it into it, and they've turned it into because they got a manager in who the players believe in. So he's been able to take them on. They've invested well. They have. And that's what we hope for. We've got a manager in who people are starting to believe in, who's done it, been there, done it. He's a good manager, and we've got a good director of football, and we've got money.
I mean, that's why City are not, but see, yeah, listen, City, money, of course they've got money. But the reason why they are where they are is because not only they've got the money, but people buy into the manager as well. It wouldn't wait. Man United have got all the money in the world. Okay, they haven't got Man City money, but they've got the money to compete with Man City to get the Man City players. The difference is that people they don't buy into it. I don't think as much because they don't have a manager that they want to buy. Whether it's quietly and they just don't like the way he plays. We've seen it with the Pogba thing. We've seen it. So. Listen, it's all positive. Okay, see, teething problems there. Baz is putting the sound on.
Yeah.
It's all. I mean, you could turn that down, Baz.
I'm just trying to. Yeah.
I mean,
sorry.
you know, you get in control.
Yeah.
It's all positive. It's all going in the right direction, and you know, we've got a couple of weeks now to our next game. So,
well, I mean, listen, I hate international breaks, right? But. Well, apart from the Charleston flying around the world with a groin injury, Sigurdsson, he's missing them games now. It looks like so. Therefore, a couple of weeks to get him fit. Hopefully, Richie will be all right, and then you know we're ready then for Cardiff. This is the big one. This is the big block. Listen, we saw Adam Ola
No.
I don't think he was in the game. Lookman anywhere near as much as he should, but he done that little cameo where he sold forward them to the shop. It's up to him now to express. It's up to Jagielka. Schneidlin can't even get in. The players are there, the squad's there. Can we deliver? And that's what it comes down to.
Tosin hasn't even got on the pitch for the last 2 games.
No. That's mad, isn't it? In itself.
That just shows you. Getting better, growing stronger. I don't know, that sounds like an Everton 80s song now. Growing better, getting stronger.
Day by day.
There you go. Creating lyrics.
Yeah. Lyrical gangsters we are.
Kermit to sing it though.
No.
Okay, there you have it. Let us know your thoughts in the comments from this game, or just on anything. Let us know. If you've been watching on YouTube, and you want to watch the full version of this video, get over to Patreon and check it out because it's like an hour long, and this will probably be about 20 minutes long. If you want the whole thing, get over to Patreon. Check that out. Thanks for watching Toffee TV. I'll see you later.